Hey guys, Neomis here. Now for today's video, I need to talk about transfers. Hector Bellerin. A bid has been rejected by Arsenal for Hector Bellerin. PSG, I'll be giving my thoughts on that. Also, Lucas Torreira is finally going to be going back to Syria, to Fiorentina. I'll be giving my thoughts on that, giving you what's going on there. And then finally, Sokratis. It looks like it's done. Sokratis very close to be leaving Arsenal, and I'll be giving my final thoughts on that. But until then, do remember to continue to comment on the videos. I'm really looking to get you guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up. Like the videos. It does also continue to help to support the channel with the YouTube algorithm. Now, let's get started. So, first of all, let's talk about the recent news. Hector Bellerin. As you know, Hector Bellerin has been linked with a move away from Arsenal. However, PSG's bid has been rejected. They offered a 25 million bid for Hector Bellerin, but that has been rejected. And it is said that Arsenal are still interested in possibly selling the player, but they are only interested in selling Hector Bellerin for closer to 40 million, which is perfectly understandable. And you know what, Bellerin is a quality player. As you all probably know, I'm on the 101 Arsenal show frequently, and last night I talked about Hector Bellerin's transfer rumours, and I said it time and time again. I think I like Bellerin. For me, I think he's a good player, and yes, you can say that we could sell him and potentially bring in other players, but I'm going to stick to players that have been loyal to Arsenal. He's come through our academy, and for a player of his quality, a player who's, you know what, still only 25, I believe, there's still opportunity for him to grow, still to grow and get better. And you know what, 40 mil for Bellerin, I think is, even that, I think is more than fair, because I would expect him closer to 50 million for Hector Bellerin if I was running the ship at Arsenal in terms of transfers. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, so it just looks like now that Hector Bellerin could still be going to PSG, but it really is dependent on whether Leonardo is going to go back to Arsenal and come up with the goods in regards to the 40 mil. Now, you could understand why Arsenal are looking at 40 mil. Let's look at the other caveats as well, which I talked on the 101 Arsenal show. You got Thomas Partey there, who has a 45 million release clause. 45 million. If you sell Bellerin, whether it being in staggered payments, you could still get Thomas Partey. I know you'd be 5 million short, but we can get 5 million from somewhere else. We just gotten rid of Mkhitaryan, who we were spending 10 mil a year on wages. We can recoup some of the amount of money we would have spent on wages for him and add that onto the Thomas Partey. I know it all sounds just all so dodgy, and because we're just having to script and scrape for players, but unfortunately this is where Arsenal is. You know, if we did have the funds, players that just have got, players like Donny van der Beek that Manchester United have just signed, would have got signed to Arsenal, probably, maybe even instead of Ceballos, who it looks like he's signed, and it's just a matter of getting it all formalized and presented out to the fans. But Bellerin, with us signing the likes of Cedric Soares, with Maitland-Niles look like it's taking a U-turn, and you know what, even with the likes of Callum Chambers, who's still at the club, who can still play at right back, Arsenal have too many players who can play in that full back position. And me as an Arsenal fan, and I'm a bit of a Bellerin fan as well, I would say it'd be very disappointing to see that go through. But let's keep on top of everything that's going on. I'll be keeping you guys apprised of everything that's going on. And you know what, leave your comments on Bellerin, because I haven't talked about Bellerin's sale being sold this summer for Arsenal, so I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say. So drop a comment below on what do you think, should Hector Bellerin be sold, or do you think that we should potentially keep him? So leave your comments on that. Also, my favorite defensive midfielder, Lucas Torreira, looks like he is gone from Arsenal. And again, he's another player that I don't want him to leave. I really don't. I think that there's a player there. I prefer him than Granit Xhaka being in that midfield. I think he would make a great midfield option. But I do understand why you might not start him. He isn't the finished product, but I still think that he's a quality player. And the news is today that, or at least within an hour ago, that Fiorentina are looking to set to bring Lucas Torreira on loan with an obligation to buy once the loan deal for Ceballos is agreed. And now it looks as well like once the Ceballos deal is fully agreed, and that should be happening, I would say, by tonight, tomorrow, then Lucas Torreira will be gone. Because as you don't know, even though I think Lucas Torreira, obviously he's a DM, Dani Ceballos did very well with some of his defensive work last season, being able to play two-way football, as I like to call it, being able to not only come deep and win the ball, make tackles, and try to drive forward to create chances. Dani Ceballos, for me, is not a bad shout to being a defensive midfielder type player in that Lucas Torreira mold. And the thing with Dani Ceballos is he does give you a lot more than Lucas Torreira, particularly going forward as well. And I hope this season, once the Ceballos deal is agreed, that we do see more of Dani, that Dani continues to progress within this Arsenal side, and that we see Dani show more attacking flair, show more goals, show more assists. You know, he's great at the defensive side of it, really, really good, but I want to see more from Dani. I really do. And unfortunately, it looks like Lucas Torreira is going to Fiorentina, back to Serie A, where it's said that he just really hasn't settled here in England. And unfortunately, he's been mismanaged quite a lot, obviously by Unai Emery, particularly in the second season. And then Freddie didn't really take too much of a fancy to him. And neither has Arteta, to be really honest. And it is a bit of a shame, because I think that Lucas Torreira is a good player and he can provide value, but he just doesn't quite fit into the system that we have. And, you know, with all the rumours that we've been talking about recently with Samare there in France being as a potential DM signing that we can bring in, Lucas Torreira just isn't the type of mold of a player that Arsenal are looking for. And I only say that based on all the rumours that I'm hearing about in terms of defensive midfielders that we are looking for. You know, no longer are we looking for a 5'5" DM. Yes, I think there were signs of him potentially being a Kante type, but that is not what Arsenal are looking for. And unfortunately, it looks like he is gone. So this will probably be the last time. If you've seen Lucas Torreira recently, it's probably the last time that we'll ever see him in an Arsenal shirt. So I'll say, you know what? Thank you, Lucas, for everything. Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for scoring such a fantastic goal against Tottenham in my first season as a season ticket holder when he first came in. So yeah, it would be really disappointing, but it is what it is. We move on. And we move on to our final story of this evening. Sokratis. Sokratis is said to be very, very close to a deal to Napoli. And the story is that, let me pull it up right here. It is said that Aurelio De Laurentiis has said that Arsenal defender Sokratis is said to be on their list as someone that they want to bring in. Now, with Koulibaly, and I talked about this briefly a few weeks back, well, last week particular, with Koulibaly potentially going to Manchester City, this is an opportunity for teams to come in and to potentially come in to get in some of our defenders, and Sokratis has been one of them. Right now, the story is that it is a sale. The sale is looking to be somewhere about £6 million. This has been confirmed by football expert Fabrizio Romano, who earlier on this afternoon, talked about had a club already to sell him, that Napoli are looking at him, but it's all based on around the Koulibaly deal. If they were to sell Koulibaly to Man City or to any other club, I mean, it could be Manchester United to be really honest, then there's a strong possibility that Sokratis will end up going to Napoli, which, you know what, it's a shame because I think Sokratis is a good player. He just isn't the type of defender that Emery and, to be honest, Arteta want. They want ball-playing centre-halves. That is not Sokratis at all. Sokratis is more of a more of an old-school defender. He's gonna defend pretty well. He's gonna head the ball. And let's be really honest. When we signed Sokratis, I said it way back then. Sokratis was a stopgap player. Sokratis was there to allow us to potentially just maintain a balance and to get back into the top 4, so eventually we could buy bigger and better players. Now we've bought the bigger and better players. Now it's time to move on for Sokratis. So, I mean, with Napoli coming in, fine, great. Sokratis is gone. Thanks for everything. We move on. So, one thing I will say, Arsenal are doing some very good work. I'll be keeping you guys posted on good news stories, on who I think that might be coming to Arsenal, even things that might seem a bit minor, as well as the big things as well. But thank you once again for watching the video. Do remember to leave your comments below and give me all your thoughts on all the potential signings. Please continue to like the videos and subscribe to the channel because it does help the channel out. And I will see you all next time. Peace.